Have you ever wondered how, in the very heart of one of the poorest countries in the world, amidst poverty and resource scarcity, true treasures can be hidden, so stunning in beauty and grandeur that they rival famous seaside resorts? Malawi is truly an astonishing African jewel, characterized by vivid contrasts and unpredictable discoveries. This country amazes with its diversity and conceals many surprising facets, from impoverished villages to fragrant beaches worthy of comparison with the Maldives. While the surrounding environment suffers from a shortage of basic goods, the people here smile sincerely and warmly. Their smiles shine brighter than sunlight and can outshine even the clearest, cloudless day. These genuine displays of human warmth become part of the remarkable atmosphere of this region. But this is only a small part of Malawi's riches, a country full of unexpected stories, vivid legends, and marvelous monuments that tell of its past and present life. One of the country's key features is its unique social structure, which often exceeds the expectations of Western tourists. In some tribal communities, women occupy leading positions in society, acting as the main custodians of traditions and household heads, while men in these communities often become homemakers, resembling characters from comedic films where the man seemingly cedes his traditional role. This phenomenon astonishingly contrasts with common ideas about gender roles and impresses with its progressive nature, demonstrating that even in the poorest and most volatile corners of the world, a new culture can emerge, making Malawi truly a unique country. One cannot ignore the rich historical heritage of this land, filled with legends and mysteries, most of which are connected to the famous Scottish missionary, David Livingstone. His journeys across the African continent and active work in Malawi remain in the memories of many as symbols of service and courage. Traces of his expeditions can still be found throughout the country, and his life story is shrouded in numerous interesting and sometimes mysterious moments that add color and intrigue to this place. A mandatory sight to see in Malawi is Lake Nyasa, the country's largest body of water, affectionately called the Internal Sea by locals. Thanks to its record size, which covers about a third of the country's territory, it exerts a significant influence on the lives and daily routines of the local people. It is not just a mirror of water, but a full-fledged world inhabited by thousands of fish species, a natural wonder, and an inexhaustible treasure. Entire communities rely on this lake. Experienced and cunning fishermen, with the intuition of old sea veterans, know all the secret spots where fresh fish hides, while women proudly and skillfully sell their catch at numerous markets that teem with life and noise, like a hot skillet in action. Malawi's landscape is not only endless natural scenery, rich in resources, but also a multifaceted culture that varies depending on the tribe and local traditions. Some tribes are home to dancers who, in the rhythms of drums, celebrate strong emotions and deep connections with nature. Others feature skilled artisans who weave astonishing baskets and textiles, surpassing the craftsmanship of even famous Californian designers. In the country's capital, Lilongwe, contrasts are especially vivid and noticeable. Here, exquisite hotels and cozy apartments neighbor poor huts, homes of those still struggling for their share of happiness, those unafraid of hardships and striving for a better life. Malawi resembles a complex mosaic, with each piece telling its own story, unique to itself, and the entire country seems to be composed of many such tales. Despite all the difficulties and challenges the country faces, it remains a land of wonder and admiration, preserving its distinctive trait, resilience and vitality. Poverty, of course, cannot overshadow the true inner splendor of the country and its natural beauty, for the simplicity of life and sincerity lend Malawi a special charm and unique allure. If you believe that paradise on earth can only be found in Bali or the Maldives, then Malawi should be on your radar. Here one can find snow-white beaches covered with soft sand and transparent waters that shimmer in the sun like gemstones, reflecting all the colors of the rainbow. Fishing villages, quiet and peaceful, embody a tranquility and harmony that is hard to describe in words. In this place, nature impresses with its untouched beauty, purity, and endless harmony that is difficult to find elsewhere. Yet despite this rich natural and cultural idyll, very few tourists visit here. The reasons lie in various circumstances: remoteness, underdeveloped tourist infrastructure, and expectations of attention and support from the government. These factors remain significant barriers for those dreaming of discovering this wonderful corner of the world. It may seem that many travel to popular resorts for comfortable, crowded beaches and prestigious hotels, where the cost of stay often exceeds reasonable limits. However, true connoisseurs of nature, genuine tranquility, and profound contemplation find their happiness elsewhere, in places where authentic silence and natural beauty reign. In these hidden spots, away from mass tourism and noise, behind a veil of mystery lies a small but remarkable country, Malawi, opening a world of unique experiences and secrets to seekers of peace and harmony. This corner, like a hidden star in the shadows, is capable of not only matching the beauty of the world's most famous resorts, but also preserving its unique atmosphere, remaining an enigma for most travelers. Along its golden shoreline stretch small villages where daily life flows leisurely, without unnecessary fuss or pretentiousness, giving them a special charm. Fishermen here are like true artists, going out to sea every day in their boats, creating picturesque scenes with their own hands, scenes that cannot be found in standard resort areas. And women on the shore turn into real magicians, brewing fish soup that can rival the best culinary masterpieces from around the world. Imagine, you're relaxing on the sand, gentle waves whisper behind your back, and the aroma of freshly prepared fish wafts through the air, inviting gastronomic delight. Such a vacation is not just a chance to escape. It's a deep reboot for the soul, an encounter with nature and inner harmony that gives a sense of complete balance. This journey becomes not only a reason for rest, but also a source of tranquility and energy, leaving your heart lighter and your thoughts clearer and brighter. Malawi, like a forgotten treasure hidden in a closet, awaits its moment to be noticed and appreciated by seekers of truly special experiences. Today, this country is just a pearl, little known to the wider public. Its value lies in the exceptional authenticity and unrivaled beauty preserved here without the destructive influence of mass tourism. And if you think about it, isn't it better to leave this quiet, magical place in the shadows rather than allow tourists to invade and destroy the very unique atmosphere that makes it truly special? When considering the features of local life in this country, I want to emphasize one thing. Among many ethnic groups, the dominant system is matrilineality, which largely shapes the way of life and social relations. If once there was an opinion that female power is just the invention of Western movie or pop culture screenwriters, in Malawi this concept is embodied in reality. Here, women own land and natural resources, and after marriage, men move into their wife's village, becoming part of her world and family. It may seem amusing or even comical, but for local residents, especially in settlements built on these traditions, it is normal and completely changes conventional ideas about power and status of men and women. Imagine, in cultures where men traditionally lead, here women not only manage their plots of land, but also make important decisions that significantly influence the development of entire communities. They are true housekeepers of life, and their authority in this society is serious and well-earned. Part 4 of 12. It is not correct to think that women's role here is only symbolic or secondary. On the contrary, in Malawi, women harness their strength and influence to implement important projects, improving the living conditions of their families and communities. This is not merely a traditional practice, but a real mechanism that allows women to assert their authority and demonstrate leadership across various spheres of life. Naturally, there are few grounds for criticism. Witnessing how traditional social structures evolve evokes respect and admiration rather than disdain. Encounters with this unique way of life prompt reflection on how variable and multifaceted the tools of power and authority are, and how culture can creatively transform the status quo. If you want to see how genuine equality is practiced and where women can be not only guardians of the home, but also leaders capable of managing lands and making important decisions, then this country is exactly the place to learn from and observe. Finally, it is worth mentioning one of Malawi's greatest treasures, its remarkable agricultural sector. The tobacco grown here is a true export gold, a valuable commodity that provides significant revenue to the country. This land, beyond its stunning natural beauty and rich cultural traditions, proudly ranks among Africa's top producers and exporters of tobacco. Imagine, thanks to its abundant tobacco reserves, Malawi is a key player on the international market for this product. Looking at the bigger picture, it seems that everything here functions quite harmoniously and sustainably. The country earns money, creates jobs, and maintains economic stability. However, this illusion is only superficial, as a paradoxical situation exists beneath the surface. The local residents rarely smoke and often cannot afford tobacco because for them, it is a luxury accessible only to a select few. How is it that while the country exports tons of cultivated and harvested tobacco to international markets, its own citizens can only observe this product from afar, perceiving it as a rare and unattainable wonder or an exotic flower? For locals, a pack of cigarettes often costs as much as a loan for a new car, an amount requiring serious financial effort and often leading to a very expensive purchase. Under these conditions, they have to accept the impossibility of buying popular goods and be content with what is available, even if it seems strange or sometimes even a little wild. All this raises many questions, encouraging a new perspective on Malawi and a deeper understanding of its internal economic and social contradictions. In the course of trying to find a way out of the situation and ensure their survival, many residents are forced to resort to more affordable substitutes for tobacco or to go without it altogether. While on other continents and in different countries, tobacco has long become a symbol of status, prestige, and higher wealth. In their context, it remains merely a commodity that generates income and profit for exporters, yet remains inaccessible to both producers and consumers within the country. This disparity creates a stark contrast, emphasizing the tragic game between economy and culture. After all, the wealth of a nation's economy depends on a product that most citizens can hardly afford even in their dreams. It's akin to owning a chocolate factory without ever tasting a single sweet product made there. A logical question arises. Is it more important to export the product for profit or to ensure its availability to the population? This situation vividly illustrates how economy and culture can coexist in two parallel worlds, where a country's prosperity does not necessarily equate to the well-being of its citizens. Now let's turn to one of the most vivid and touching aspects of this country, fishing, which reveals much about the place and role of traditions in the lives of Malawians. In this sphere, there is another important detail that unravels the depths of their culture. Fishing on Lake Malawi is not just a craft, but an ancient art thriving under the starry sky, surrounded by a special magic and ritualistic atmosphere. Fishermen live in a world where nighttime fishing is not just a mundane activity, but a real dramatic performance, imbued with ancestral wisdom. They do not use modern boats equipped with the latest technology or motors that could significantly simplify the process, but set out on traditional canoes carved by hand from solid tree trunks. In their hands, these boats seem to be a return to the roots, to distant times when technology had not yet reached our modern level, and the connection with nature and its wisdom played a primary role. A scene unfolds where they illuminate the dark lake waters with neat lanterns, creating a mesmerizing and mystical atmosphere in which the fish start splashing and jumping against the backdrop of the starry sky. This fishing ritual is more than just a livelihood. It has become part of a way of life, passed down through generations as a tradition, where every detail is filled with deep meaning and ancestral wisdom. When the lamps and lanterns are turned on, the fish seem to lose their vigilance and get caught in the nets. This is how their ancient method of fishing is built, based on harmony with nature and years of refined skill. It is not just a means of earning money, but a symbol of their culture and identity, inextricably linked to centuries of history and a unique philosophy of existence. For these fishermen, it is more important to preserve their centuries-old traditions and pass them on to new generations than to chase after quick catches or rapid profit. Part 6 of 12. This creates a surprising paradox. In a world entirely focused on quick profits and technological development, they choose sustainability, stability, and a connection to their history. The question they face is how to deal with the challenges of the modern world when progress and globalization more and more aggressively threaten their traditional methods and way of life. How do fishermen whose hearts and souls remain rooted in ancient traditions cope with climate change and other factors that cause concern and change. All of this is another example of how culture, history, and nature live in close and beautiful harmony, even in the modern world. Undoubtedly, despite contemporary trends and everyday hustle, the people of this region continue to fish as their ancestors did many centuries ago. Genuine joy resides in their hearts, stemming from simple yet timeless things: an ability to enjoy nature, patience, and an appreciation for every minute spent by the water. Malawi is not only a country renowned for its tobacco production, but also a special region where deep respect for ancient traditions and loyalty to one's roots help its people find harmony and happiness in everyday life. Now let's move on to the next, sixth important trait. Lake Malawi is truly an underwater paradise hidden in the heart of Africa. Even if you think you've seen much of this world, your imagination is probably unprepared for the splendor and uniqueness of this natural treasure. The lake is not just a vast expanse of water, but a miniature ocean, home to over 700 species of fish. Most of these are not found in any other bodies of water on the planet. Imagine biologists, passionate and inspired, diving into these waters as if exploring distant, uncharted islands and continents. Every dive is like a journey into a mysterious and unique world. Aquarists, for their part, draw inspiration from the splendor of this aquatic realm to create entirely unique home aquariums, as if competing in mastery to reproduce natural masterpieces. Part of this lake has even been designated a submerged national park, and it's not just superficial fashion or showmanship, but a genuine investment in protecting and preserving this unique ecosystem. The underwater world of Malawi is just as vibrant and lively as its terrestrial nature, as if in a fantastic film where each fish's movement is a part of a magical performance. To look beneath the water is to witness a riot of vivid colors, like an artist's palette. Here, blue, orange, and yellow hues create stunning pictures, astonishing with their beauty. Immersing oneself in this world is like entering a fairy tale realm, where every wave and splash carries its own unique story. If you have ever wondered what the most raw and untouched natural treasures look like, Lake Malawi is precisely the place where you can feel the harmony and power of nature in all its pristine beauty. Located in the heart of Africa, Malawi is a special country that combines stunning natural landscapes with a rich cultural heritage. These two elements are intertwined in a harmonious dance, creating a unique atmosphere. As for the lake itself, it is the main symbol of this region, its pearl and calling card. The splendor of this natural monument impresses with its diversity and richness of biological species. However, despite its beauty and uniqueness, this aquatic world faces many serious threats stemming from human activity. Water pollution, widespread deforestation, climate change. All these issues threaten the preservation of this natural masterpiece. Yet despite this worrying situation, life in the lake continues, bubbles up, and flourishes. In a way, this seems to be a true paradox. In an era of globalization and rapid simplification of cultural and natural connections, Lake Malawi retains its boundaries, remaining home to countless species of living creatures for whom it is the last refuge and protection. Who would have thought that such wealth and diversity could maintain their importance and value to the world while remaining beyond human reach? This is a question that can be answered rhetorically. It is these unique places that attract the attention not only of scientists and nature protectors, but also of tourists from around the world, as everyone wants to touch this unmatched beauty at least once. Let's move on to another equally important aspect of this country's life, its musical culture, which flows like an inexhaustible river through the hearts of its inhabitants, filling their souls with sounds and rhythms, evoking emotions and inspiration. In Malawi, music is not just a collection of sounds and melodies, but a true sound palette where ancient traditional motifs harmoniously blend with modern musical styles. On the streets of this region, especially during warm evening hours, young people and adults gather to share their musical experiences, as if this is not just a hobby, but a way to express their inner world, their philosophy of life, and their cultural connection. African rhythms, present in traditional music, have the power to instantly engage everyone in movement, causing spontaneous changes in pose and rhythm, as if under the spell of the magic and energy of these motifs. But this is not only a reflection of the past. The younger generation carefully preserves ancient melodies while simultaneously developing them in new directions. They experiment, mixing traditional motifs with contemporary styles such as hip-hop and reggae, resulting in a lively, relevant, and very unique musical language where old and new, requiem and dance coexist. This unique culture, filled with rhythms and melodies, has become an integral part of every resident's life, linking generations and creating a strong foundation for cultural development. Hidden within its rich sounds and tempos is the soul of the people, their history and faith in the future, as music for them is not just entertainment, but a means to preserve their identity and pass it on to future generations, strengthening national unity and spiritual cohesion. Imagine an old vinyl record that has retained its allure and warm sound for centuries, combined with modern beats embedded within it, like a delicate thread of time connecting the past and the present. This is precisely the feature of Malawian music, its uniqueness and genuine vitality. In this country, gospel songs not only fill the space of churches and sacred buildings, where they are performed in the name of faith and spiritual search, but also penetrate straight into listeners' hearts, evoking deep feelings and reinforcing hope for a better future. Music here is much more than mere entertainment. It serves as a powerful tool for communication, a vital way to express personal thoughts, emotions, and spiritual aspirations. However, in a situation where Western culture continues to challenge every cultural space, the question arises: how to preserve one's unique identity, traditions, and character in the musical sphere? This balance is akin to a dance on the edge of a knife, requiring precise and delicate adjustments. On one side, traditional depth and national color, and on the other, modern trends and global influences. In Malawi, it seems they have found a golden ratio, skillfully combining old and new, maintaining their cultural authenticity despite external influences. Now let's turn to another important aspect of life in this country: education. Imagine a bright sun illuminating small students sitting directly on the ground under the open sky, drawing letters with their fingers in soft sand. Yes, you are correct. In rural Malawian schools, this is exactly how the learning process unfolds. There are no usual notebooks and pens, and often there are no modern blackboards. Sometimes the only teaching tool is an old scratch board. Despite these harsh conditions, these children refuse to let obstacles stop their desire to learn. They are like little fighters, ready to battle for their dreams, unafraid of difficulties because their path lacks professional learning aids, relying only on their own efforts and sincere faith in a brighter future. These kids, not just memorizing letters and numbers, absorb every bit of information like sponges, understanding that education is their main ticket into a bigger, brighter world. It's possible to call this a real paradox. Despite the lack of resources, their ambitions do not fade but only burn brighter. In their eyes lives a spark of hope and a drive to change something, and every day becomes a kind of personal battle test. Look at these young heroes, residents of a distant country who do not wait for someone to bring them textbooks or pens, but rather create the necessary conditions for learning themselves. Demonstrating incredible resourcefulness and a strong desire for knowledge, they organize lessons, find ways to bring meaning to their lives, and develop themselves. And think, how would you feel or what would you do if you were in similar circumstances where a lack of resources is the norm? Moving to another important aspect of life in Malawi, we delve into the fascinating world where modernity and tradition merge. In remote villages, where electricity is a rare luxury and running water can almost be called an unattainable blessing, there are often small huts topped with solar panels. These small devices, resembling alien technology, would seem like science fiction to ordinary people, if not for their practical benefits. Despite the near-total absence of modern amenities, the residents of these villages have found ways to adapt to the demands of the modern world, making solar panels their chance for change. They not only provide useful light in dark rooms, but also allow them to charge accessible smartphones, devices that have become symbols of progress, status symbols, and windows to the wider world. Imagine a scene: a local resident sitting on his porch, where instead of an asphalt road, there is greenery and simple earth. He is attentively scrolling through his smartphone, enjoying the illusion of modernity even in an environment where technology and comfort seem out of reach. In these simple and often harsh realities, incredible ways of adaptation embody hope and resilience, proving that even in places that seem impoverished and forgotten by God, people continue to seek avenues for development and prosperity. This small but remarkable island on the map of Africa is not just a geographical point, it is a true treasure trove of unique culture, nature, and human traditions. Its entire atmosphere is filled with a special magic and charm that evoke the desire to explore and rediscover time and again. Here, everyone can find something special, from scenic landscapes and magnificent natural vistas to rich cultural rites and the genuine friendliness of the local people. All this makes Malawi not just another tourist destination, but a truly inspiring place that evokes deep admiration and a longing to return again and again. In this corner of the earth, nature has generously bestowed its gifts, shimmering lakes where the water is so transparent it seems possible to touch the bottom, and majestic mountain peaks that seem to guard the tranquility and harmony of this world. These natural beauties convey a sense of unspoiled primal beauty, inviting reflection on eternal values and the beauty of the surrounding world. However, the true wealth of this place is undoubtedly its people. They greet guests with such heartfelt warmth and a sincere smile that it feels like coming home after a long absence. Their hospitality and openness are striking and make you feel part of their world, for such encounters leave the most vivid memories. If you get the impression that everything here seems simple and uncomplicated, rest assured, this is a deep illusion. Behind every traditional ritual, song, and dance lies a complex system of meanings, spiritual significance, and stories passed down from generation to generation. In this culture, every small detail, every movement, and every ceremony is filled with special significance, sometimes astonishing or even mysterious to an unprepared observer. For example, some customs and rituals, such as communal singing and dancing, serve not only as entertainment, but also as an essential part of the people's spiritual life. They help preserve the memory of ancestors, strengthen collective unity, and provide an opportunity to show respect for one's ancestors and traditions. One of the most vivid expressions of this richness is the traditional Galimku dance. This dance is not just a festive performance, but a deeply rooted ritual filled with mystical symbols and spiritual meanings. It is a spectacle that leaves no spectator indifferent, especially if they are unfamiliar with the history and significance of its performance. Imagine a group of men in bright, often fantastical costumes and masks, who seem to transform into spirits and ethereal beings. These masks and costumes emphasize the special mystical atmosphere created during the ceremony and help participants assume the role of intermediaries between the world of the living and the ancestors. They do not merely entertain the audience, but perform sacred duties, serving as links between people and cultural roots, reinforcing traditional values, and passing them on to future generations. At these moments, whether during funerals, initiations, or festive gatherings, the execution of Galimku becomes a sacred act. Men in masks become guides, transmitting oral history, values, and the collective memory of the people. Their dance is not only a form of spiritual connection, but also a vital cultural act, recognized and protected as part of intangible cultural heritage by the World Organization for the Preservation of Intangible Cultural Heritage. Every movement, gesture, and ritual act is not merely choreography, but a reflection of profound ceremonial meanings passed down through generations, preserving and transmitting a special bond between ancestors and the living. If someone considers such dances only theatrical entertainment, they are profoundly mistaken. At their core lies respect for departed ancestors and a desire to preserve their memory, deeply rooted in the cultural traditions of this people. Such a ritual serves not only to elevate the spiritual sphere, but also to strengthen social unity, a reminder of the endless connection between the past and the present. In the future, observing this amazing lively scene, it is worth remembering that behind each movement and mask, there is a whole story full of mysticism, spiritual meanings, and traditional wisdom. These ceremonies transform ordinary celebrations or funerals into true performances that stay in memory forever and serve as a living reminder of the richness of this culture. Malawi is not just a dot on the map. It is a special world where the everyday and the extraordinary go hand in hand, creating a unique harmony. It is a place where nature generously shares its gifts, from shimmering lakes and majestic mountain peaks to dense forests and wildlife-rich corners. It's hard not to be impressed or captivated here, as everyone will find something memorable that fills the soul with light and joy. Overall, Malawi is characterized by a remarkable combination of natural beauty and genuine human warmth, so it seems to be created for those who value deep meaning, traditions, and sincere hospitality. Perhaps it is these qualities that make it such a special corner on the African continent, stunning with its authentic spiritual richness and inner harmony. Let us at least recall the vivid and memorable performance of Guli and Mkuli. It is not merely a fun or dull pastime, but a whole philosophy of life, a profound symbol connecting generations and passing on the values that form the foundation of this society. Such a dance becomes a symbol of unity and identity of the people, expressing their history, culture, and worldview through movements and rhythms that resonate in the hearts of everyone who watches or performs it. Malawi is far from just a tourist trap where people come for impressions and souvenirs, only to sadly leave home afterward. It is a place where one can truly feel and understand the soul of genuine, authentic Africa, the one that lies behind popular tourist routes and multi-million tourist groups. There is a special atmosphere here, imbued with sincerity and life energy, often inaccessible in the West or in more well-known tourist centers. If your desire is to see something truly genuine and authentic, you need to leave behind the standard routes, exhausting the same pictures and endless souvenir shopping. Instead, you should take the path of true discovery, abandon stereotypes and cliches to immerse yourself in the atmosphere of local life and feel its true nature. Every new journey to such countries is an opportunity to open up entirely different horizons, to visit places you had never even thought of before, and to connect with people whose lives may drastically differ from your usual perceptions. Such travels allow you to discover an unexplored, sometimes hidden world that often remains outside the scope of mass tourism and travel guides. In these corners of the earth, authenticity is hidden, unspoiled traditions remain untouched by time, and memorable images of everyday life are preserved. All of this is an invitation not only to explore another culture, but also to view one's own life from a new perspective, to realize that there are values and ways of existence in the world that are often only fleetingly remembered amid the hustle and bustle of daily life. As a result of such journeys, people often return not with souvenirs, but with an inner wealth, experiences and understandings that often lie beyond the scope of mass perception.